right, everybody. This is Venus Brown, and I'm back with another A Night of the Seven Kingdoms After Watch. This one's for episode 3, called The Squire. I'm going to just hold on 1 second. I think I might have something going here. Unless... I'm not going to worry too much about it. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, first... Before I get on with it, I need to adjust my camera a bit. That is not quite positioned right. All right. So first we're going to go over the gist of the last episode. Episode 3. So episode 3, we start out with Dunk trying to prepare for these lists, and then Egg is like, you are not a knight of high birth, are you? Because you're not allowed to participate in today's lists. So he got corrected pretty early on about that after he had asked Egg to go and get his armor and shield. And then he's like, not today. Not today. And then Egg goes and tries to train the horse for a little while. Well, actually, I think that was beforehand, before Dunk even got up. Egg's like trying to train the horse, taking care of business, making sure things are prepared. Excuse me. And then later on, before anybody actually leaves the camp, the guy who's running the games, he comes up to Dunk and he's asking him for a little favor. And at first, Dunk is like, it sounds like he's asking for money. He's like, I don't have any money. And he just looks at him like, yeah, I kind of suspected that. Like, you definitely don't look like you have any money. So apparently what he wants is for him to, I don't know if it's called throwing the game, but he wants... He plans to intentionally place him against somebody that they all have bet against so that they can make some money, because they said that right now the town is facing hard times because the local leaders have spent a lot of money on their most recent wedding, and they need some money to pump up the economy in the area. So his idea is, okay, you go ahead and you do a joust against this prince that we've bet on, or no, that we have not bet on. We've bet on the underdog, and you try to win against him. And I didn't understand exactly what the issue was at first. I had to like really go back through and listen a little better to try to understand like what I knew that there was an ethical dilemma there. I just couldn't quite understand what the ethical dilemma is. And the ethical dilemma is that he's intentionally setting him up to win, possibly by doing something not good, but also by setting him up intentionally with this person that they've bet against. So whether he's going to try to win or not, like that was my first issue, is he's trying to win anyway. So is it really that bad and that unethical a thing that it's going to bother him that much? But then later on, after we see one of the fiascos that happens with Arian doing his tourney event, freaking intentionally stabbing the horse and killing the horse. After seeing that, I was like, okay, like that was jacked the fuck up. That was so messed up. And then right after that, Dunk is trying to explain like something like, something messed up like that, something really messed up like that, some mishap could happen while I'm on, and I need you to keep your head. And Egg is like, that was not a mishap. No. No siree. He's like, Egg was like all over. He was just spot on with everything today. Yeah, really. Okay, let's see. So after Dunk is presented with this ethical dilemma and he's trying to figure out whether he's going to go along with it or not, it starts to sound like he's putting out feelers for whether he should do it or not. And we don't know for sure one way or another. He seems to be a very upstanding, honest, like ethical kind of person. So it doesn't seem like something he's going to do, but he also needs the money. So, it could go either way. And then, of course, with that joust the Aryan did, he shows his true colors, but that wasn't the only place he shows his true colors. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And Dunk eventually goes and helps out Tanzel because he finds out she's in distress. He comes to the rescue. Unfortunately, against Aryan, a prince, which we know. You freaking assault a prince, no matter what they did, that's going to put you in hot water. So, that's kind of the rundown of the episode this week on the 3rd. And to let you know, I found out that episode 4 is going to come out on a different day. I believe it's supposed to come out on Friday, so as to not interrupt the Super Bowl. That, and probably to not lose tons and tons of viewers to the Super Bowl. I don't personally watch the Super Bowl. Anytime I watch anything with the Super Bowl, it is just to watch the commercials and halftime show, and that's about it. Occasionally, if it's a team that I somewhat have any feelings about whatsoever, I might take a look at what the score is at some point, but other than that, I don't watch it. But I know there's plenty of people that do, that they really like that, and yeah, I don't imagine that would do well for their ratings, so they have moved it to Friday so it doesn't disrupt the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl doesn't disrupt it too much. I'm sure there will be some disruption because not everybody's going to know, but it's something. Anyway, today I am going to go ahead and play you, like I did last week, I'm going to play you a preview for the next episode. It's very short. It's like 53 seconds. And this time I made sure it was just the trailer and nobody else's commentary. So let's go ahead and get that started. All right. I need to put my desktop on so that we'll actually hear it. If I start playing it and it doesn't seem to be playing, or doesn't seem to be making sounds, I will go ahead and adjust my audio. And it's working just fine.
I never meant to lie.
Yeah, but you did. About everything.
Yes.
You laid hands upon the blood of the dragon. Arion would like your head.
A trial of 7. What the fuck is a trial of 7?
You must find 6 other knights.
You didn't know what a
to fight
trial of
beside
7
you.
was?
You made
I
it
thought
wise
that
to
was a
run.
thing.
Want to kill me if I run.
Want to kill you anyway.
Who will stand and fight with me? Has courage deserted the noble houses of Westeros? And there are no true knights among you?
I so feel for him. So badly feel for him. As even if I had never read the books, if you do something against one of the freaking Targaryens, one of the royal people, the princes, they are not going to handle it well, and it's like freaking grounds to kill you. So, horrible, horrible. Now, I have a good idea of what's to come, the Trial of the Seven, because I have read the book, and that is one of the things I actually do remember fairly well. Let me put it back on live scene. But not completely looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to things starting to come together so that Dunk can actually show his mettle, show what he's made of, because he's made of something pretty special, unlike Prince Aerion. There was something I also noticed when I was watching the episode Aerion. Like, I went back and I was listening to the show, and I heard his name, Aerion, and I was like, oh my God, the Aryan race. I'm like, and he is like a fucking spitting example of that kind of idea, this idea that, oh, you have this supreme race, or this supreme race, or this race that thinks they are supreme and they think they are better than everybody else. And that's definitely what Aerion reminds me of. Like, just somebody who thinks that he and his kind are better than everybody else. They're superior to everybody because they're Targaryen, because of the blood of the dragon. But really, this guy's a piece of fucking work. And is he really as great as he thinks he is? I mean, at best, his behavior is fucking horrendous. But what about the rest? Is he actually skilled? Is he actually good at what he does? We'll find out. We'll find out. But what a piece of work. What a piece of work. Okay, so I played the trailer. Now we're going to go through some of my favorites and not so favorites. VIP for this episode is Egg, hands down. This kid, his interactions with Dunk at the beginning, the trying to help by training the horse, the trying to get help for Tanzel by coming to Dunk and telling him that she's being assaulted. And then when the fucking shit is hitting the fan and his brother is being a fucking royal asshole to his knight, he fucking sticks up for him and he fucking reveals who he is like a fucking boss. Like a boss. I swear. That kid was like, did not pull any punches. And then his brother asks him, no, I'll hold off on that. Just like, he was on top of things. And he's been on top of things, honestly. But really good job. I really appreciate it. Definitely VIP of the episode, hands down. Piece of shit of the episode, another, hands down. Like, it's so obvious. Aerion, the fucking prince of assholes, is the fucking piece of shit of the episode. No doubt about it. Like, everything about him stinks. Stinks to high heaven. He might think his shit smells like fucking roses, but nah, man. This guy needs to fucking go down. He needs to go down bad. So, least favorite scene. Okay, after the awful shit that he was doing with Tanzel. Why? Because she's in a play, fiction, make-believe, like puppets and the fucking awesome-ass dragon. And because she kills the dragon. And he sees that as a metaphor that's just, oh no, the dragons always win, they never lose. So he fucking throws a fucking temper tantrum about it and breaks her finger? Like, what a fucking spoiled, rotten brat. Like somebody else I know, Donald Trump. But, oh my God. So, my least favorite scene, though, was after that. It wasn't when he broke her finger. That was bad enough. But then when he's like, oh, my tooth is loose, I'm going to go and break all the teeth in your head. That shit pissed me off. That was my least favorite scene. Definitely. But my favorite scene, so I was just like, I was appalled by it and grossed out by it. Like the idea that you're going to try to break his teeth on this, like break all his teeth out. That seemed really awful to me. But my favorite scene was when Egg was caught with the horse, and this knight who apparently became a religious zealot sees him and thinks he's stealing the horse, and he makes a rude comment to Doug after he figures out that I don't know if he figured out yet that Egg was a squire. But at some point he figures out that Egg is a squire. And he asks him what's wrong with his hair. And Egg, like, right off the bat proceeds to say, what's wrong with your eye? Because he's got this big eye patch on. And then they show back in time when he got his eye poked out by a lance, and it like after it shows him get stabbed in the face with the lance, and the lance broke off in his eye. Then it shows him like eyeball just hanging out, blood all over. That was my favorite scene. Yes, both those scenes were gross and gruesome, but that one I could appreciate, and that one was, like, awesome. Like, the freaking artwork that they had to do to get that to look that way, it was so gruesome. I loved that. That was my favorite scene. But I have a little aside here. Egg revealing himself and telling Arian that he cut his hair off because he didn't want to look like Arian. That fucking warmed my heart. It made me so happy. It made me smile. That was one of my favorite scenes. Definitely. It just, as soon as he said it, I was just like, oh, I smiled so big. It was great. Great stuff. All right. Now, this next episode coming up, I don't have good feelings about this. I do know, I read the book, so I know some of what's going to happen and everything. And I know it's going to be very tense. And things are going to get really shit. But eventually, things will get back. Eventually, things will get good. But I do not think that next episode is the episode for anything to be getting good. So, yeah. But I'm still looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an exciting episode. I think that everybody is going to be on edge. But, God, I really, really feel bad for Dunk. So bad. And what he said in the trailer about Egg lying about everything, it's true. Like, Egg pretty much lied about he didn't lie about the things he knew and understood and where he was from, but he definitely was not open about the fact that he was Targaryen, and I don't blame him. He was trying to hide from the Targaryens. He was trying to hide from his family, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yep, I feel bad, but Egg also was the one that freaking came in there, stormed that fucking tent, and stopped what was happening. At least stopped Arian from busting Dunk's teeth out. Like, that would have been a jacked up fucking thing, and it would have permanently scarred him forever, even if he didn't end up getting fucking terminated. Because you know Arian wants him terminated. But let's hope everything goes well. Everything. I mean, it would be nice if Arian just, like, took a spill on his horse and... But I don't think that is something that's going to happen. So anyway, that is all that I am talking about this time for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I am looking forward to episode 4. And like I said, it comes out on Friday instead of Sunday or Monday. So I think it's like Friday, middle of the night. So technically, most people aren't going to be watching till Saturday. But either way, that way doesn't get it doesn't get in the way of the Super Bowl. People can watch it and enjoy themselves. People can watch the Super Bowl and enjoy themselves if that's what they're into. And I will be back here. I thought about coming back early since it is going to be on Friday or Saturday. I might. Usually I do Tuesdays, but maybe I'll do Sunday. I will make a little post on my channel saying one way or another whether I'm going to do the after watch for episode 4 on Sunday or Tuesday. I'll do that. They said after the Super Bowl, though, it will all go back to its regular schedule. So just keep that in mind. And just so everybody knows, I did put it on my starting screen. I have a schedule now written up for Night of the Seven Kingdoms on Tuesdays. We might do it differently this coming week, but or technically this week. We might do it differently this week, but usually it will be on Tuesdays, and it will usually be Tuesdays around 6ish, because we try to go for a walk around 5, and I'm usually busy with other stuff. Plus I do the Handmaid's Tale live stream earlier in the day. So just so you know, Handmaid's Tale live reads I do on Sundays and Tuesdays. Sunday's kind of when I get up and get everything set up and get around to it. It is my weekend, and I do like to at least attempt to enjoy my weekend a little bit, attempt to relax a little bit, even though honestly most of the time on weekends I'm working on stuff. I'm just doing it more relaxed and more as I want to. And I also will watch a lot of videos on Sundays and Saturdays to, you know, I kept that clock going. Let me turn this clock off. Because I did this on my Handmaid's Tale video too, but I turned the clock off as soon as I went back to the starting screen to show my new schedule. And Tokyo Ghoul reactions I do every Friday. This last Friday was late because when I tried to post it at night, YouTube had copyright. They didn't I wasn't in any trouble, but it wasn't going to be visible to anybody, so I had to cut a bunch of stuff out because I had too much left in, and then republish it, and it was getting late, so I went ahead and did it the next day. So that went up on Saturday. But usually Tokyo Ghoul goes on Fridays, and Bridgerton season 4 reactions are back, and those are going to be on Saturday. The last one I did on Sunday, but I am pretty confident that I can get the next episode done and published by Saturday. It might be late Saturday, but Saturday I should have it done. So, Bridgerton Saturdays, Tokyo Ghoul Fridays, those are both reactions. They are not live. Handmaid's Tale reading, that is live streamed Sundays and Tuesdays. I usually do 2 or 3 chapters each time. And then A Night of the Seven Kingdom after watch, just like I just did. Those live streams are on Tuesdays also, just Tuesday evening. So that's all I got for you this week. I will see you when I see you. Bye. Or technically, it's not this week. That's all I've got for you today. I will see you when I see you.